Hello, my name is Morris Huang, and this is the Beginner's Guide to the Stock Market. Today, I'll tell you about investing in the stock market based on my experiences as a mentor and a newcomer. And hopefully, by the end of this video, you will have learned something that could be useful in the future. First off, we have account value and buying power. Your account value is how much your stock account is worth, and it changes depending on if your stocks are earning you money. Your buying power, on the other hand, is the amount of money you have left after purchasing various stocks, and it is calculated with this formula over here. At the start of the investment, your account value and buying power should be the same, but as you place down orders, they will vary. And as you can see here on my screen, they are different. Next up, we take a look at our holdings. We have our stocks and ETFs. Over here, it shows that we have bought any shares of any company's stocks or ETFs. A share is a portion of the company that we are investing in hopes that the company's value will rise, along with our money into that portion of the company. But ETFs are different. ETF stands for Exchange Traded Fund. Now, what those are, essentially, is funding for a general subject. For example, gold over here. They don't have a market open because they are always running. ETFs generally have lower risk and less volatility, which often makes a fund safer to own than any individual stock. However, this also means that there is a lower return. Over here, you can see that there are many labels for the priorities that you want to sort your stocks with. Let's briefly go over that before we move on to shorting. Symbol is the ticker symbol used to find that stock. Description is the name of the company. Current price is the current price per share of the stock holdings. Today's change is how much you lost or gained today. Purchase price is the price per share of the stock holdings when you first bought the stock. Quantity is the amount of shares you bought. Total value is the total value of this investment. Total gains/loss is the total gain or loss and is calculated by subtracting the purchase price and the current price per share. Lastly, we have trade actions over here. The one on the top with the plus symbol is an option for you to add more, and the one on the bottom with the minus symbol is an option for you to give up on stocks and take the current profit or loss. We will cover options later, so let's move on to shorting. Shorting is a unique and confusing concept to grasp. Here is how Investopedia explains it. Feel free to pause the video if you want. Okay, so after we have shorting, let's check the performance stats. Over here. By the way, you can see over here it says market open closes in 4 hours 19 minutes. The market is open starting from 9:30 p.m. and closes at 4 a.m. And anywhere between that time you can make orders or trades. And back to the performance chart, you can see it shows my progress starting from the first day of trading over here. For me, mine goes up and down below 100k, but I am generally going up lately, or starting over here. You can use this chart to monitor your progress and reflect upon your past investments. Now let's check on trade. Over here you can see symbol again. This means the ticker symbol of the company you are investing in. It shows a graph of how that company's stocks have generally been so that you can know you're investing in the right company and also perhaps to reconsider your choices. Here is the chart mentioned. Next, we have action, and it gives you the options buy, sell, short, and buy to cover. Buy to cover here is the shorting equivalent of selling stocks, since you sold them earlier and are buying them back at a different price. For specifics, go back and see the definition for short selling. After choosing the options, which I'm going to choose buy, after choosing the options, you get to choose the quantity. This means the amount of shares you want to buy, given that one share is equal to how much the current price per share is. Many people new to the stock market may understand how it works, but be confused about how much they should put down in an investment. I would suggest you consider ordering more than $5,000 worth per investment, or else the returns won't be as significant. After that, we have order type. This gives you the options limit, market, and stop limit. Again, I will show Investopedia's explanation for this. Feel free to pause the video if you want. After that, we have duration, which contains the option good until cancelled and day only. The good until cancelled only matters if you set limitations for when to buy the stock. Otherwise, using day only will process the order on that day or the next possible business day. Good until cancelled means that even if the stocks didn't meet your requirements, the pending trade is valid or good until you cancel it. Lastly, you can preview the order to check how much your investment will cost you and to double check on your orders. Like this. If you're happy with the order, click Submit Order, and it will process the order about 20 minutes later. The reason for this delay is because Investopedia deals with delayed information, so you could use real-time stock information to seemingly look into the future of stock situation. This delay fixes that problem by only putting down your order once the Investopedia information matches the real-time stock situation when you placed your order. I would therefore suggest that you look at the real-time stock by Googling the company's ticker symbol or just typing stock after the company's name on Google. This will let you have a better idea of whether or not the stock is worth your buy by looking at the latest stock price instead of the delayed one on Investopedia. Moving on to research, the first thing we see is the most traded stocks over here. This doesn't mean the most traded stocks in the stock market, but rather among fellow investors in the simulator. This data doesn't suggest anything, so I would usually ignore that. The bottom here, we can see all the stocks available for us, as well as a brief situation of the company. The technical rating is the part that you'll have to look at, as it guides you through the long array of possible companies to invest in. Please note that the technical rating for the company is not up to date, as today's market hasn't closed yet, so it doesn't count as a final value for the engine to evaluate whether or not you should buy or sell the company's stocks. Please remember again that big companies like Berkshire Hathaway or Apple usually don't increase over 8% per trading day. So if you're looking for big returns, you should look into volatility stocks. How do you do that, you ask? Click on Most Capitalized on the top right corner and choose Most Volatile. Here, it will show all of the stocks that rose or fell the most on the previous trading day. Let me make a quick disclaimer that the technical rating doesn't really matter here because the stocks are so volatile. And also, I'll give you a tip. Usually when stocks go down, they bounce back up. And when they go too far up, they fall drastically down. Use that to your advantage. That's all I have to say about the stock market, simulator-wise. So before I end this video, I'll make a final tip. For researching which stock to buy, look at the news. People buy and sell depending on what they see on the news, so check why the stocks are the way they are, and make your final decision. That's it for the video. Good luck investing.